Welcome to Even Tacos Fall Apart, a podcast with real stories, real struggles, and real hope. I'm MommaFoxFire, and today's episode is a conversation that was actually recorded back in 2021. It's been sitting in my archive for a while, and to be honest, it's one I've thought a lot about since we recorded it. It's real, it's raw, and it touches on some really important, really tough stuff, like living with depression, surviving abuse, and navigating life with learning disabilities. These are not easy topics. They're complicated, they're personal, and for so many people, they're just part of daily life. Depression isn't just being sad. It's heavy. It's frustrating. It can show up in ways that make everything feel harder, from getting out of bed, to remembering what you were supposed to do next, to keeping up with the basics. And it doesn't always make sense from the outside, especially when you're doing everything you can just to hold it together. Abuse, whether it's physical, emotional, or sexual, leaves deep marks that don't just disappear because time passes. It shapes how people trust, how they show up in relationships, how they feel about themselves. And talking about it is hard, really hard. But talking about it matters, especially when you've spent years trying to pretend it didn't happen or minimize it just to get through the day. And learning disabilities are often misunderstood. It's not about being lazy or not trying hard enough. It's about how your brain processes information and how schools, jobs, and systems aren't usually set up to help you succeed if you don't fit into their mold. It can make you feel stupid when you're not. It can make you feel broken when really you just need different tools. In this conversation, you're going to hear from someone who's been through all of that. My guest is Puck, an ETFA community member, a husband, a father, a gamer, and a guy who's been through some really hard shit and still manages to show up with honesty, humor, and a serious amount of heart. We talk about what it's like to grow up in an abusive home, to be homeless as a teen, to fight through a system that's more interesting and punishing than helping. He shares the ways his learning disability has made school and work harder, and how depression still impacts his daily life. And he talks about what keeps him going, his kids, his wife, his art, and his drive to do better than the examples he grew up with. There's no sanitized version of struggle and triumph. This is a real look at what it takes to survive, to keep going, and to build something meaningful even when the world doesn't make it easy. If you've ever felt like you were falling behind, if you've ever struggled with your mental health, if you've ever felt like your past keeps chasing you, this conversation is for you. You are not alone. You are not too broken. And there is a way forward, even if it's not easy or clean or fast. Thanks for being here. Let's get into my conversation with Puck. Hi, hello. Welcome, everyone, to a super professionally put together and prepared stream, as you are totally used to having here on Mental Health Monday. But yes, we do have a guest today. This is Puck. He is a community member, and he is an amazing community member. He actually came into the community through 7 Days to Die. I think you met Alex, right? Through the Mischief Maker?
Nope. Actually,
Darkness Falls. Darkness Falls.
It was through Darkness Falls because he was in the official channels with us.
Yeah, so, Darkness Falls, yes. So, came into the community through that and has just like stuck like glue on everyone.
They can't get rid of me.
So Puck has been through a lot in his life. He has lived through physical and sexual abuse, homelessness, a fair amount of trouble in school, and currently lives with depression and more. Yes, depression and a learning disability. But he now owns his own home, is married to a wonderful woman who he says puts up with him, which means, absolutely loves him.
She puts up with me.
And has 3 kids and is working on his own business. I've got links for you. Shock. I know. Super happy to have you here, Puck, today to talk through your experiences a little bit with us today. I appreciate you coming on. I do have a link to your Etsy shop and your Instagram. Are there any other links you want me to share?
No, that's fine.
Just those two. Okay. All right. So we do have a question queue up. If you have a question for Puck, be sure to type in ! the letter Q. And then we're going to become famous right now. KH Cabanos has got us on. He's going to hook us up with the becoming famous over here. So if you have a question.
We can buy followers.
Yeah. ! Q. And then you'll be able to type your question. It'll put it into the chat. It'll put it into a question queue. I'll make sure that we ask it. And then I do just keep an eye on chat too. So if you have a question, just pop it in there. We'll get it asked. But we're gonna talk a lot about Puck's experience today. So just appreciate you taking the time out.
Oh yeah, pretty busy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We're already 1 minute over your allotted time frame for this interview. So gotta go. Bye. So you run a business. I've already posted the link in the chat called Wild Coyote Design, selling custom-made art, household items, decals, coffee mugs, and other products. Can you give us the background of that, how you got started, and what you love and hate about it?
Well, we actually got started. I had a business partner back in the day. My best friend, he's actually the gentleman that got me off the streets. Him and his family helped me out. And we were just hanging out playing video games. A buddy of ours decided he wanted to start a clothing line for I don't watch it, so I can't think of the name. Not street fighting, but like cage matches.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of the name of it right now, but yeah, he
like the ultimate fighting things.
Yeah. Yep. So he wanted these little stickers to put on his car. And my buddy's mom had a Cricket. Mm-hmm. So he started making a couple stickers for him. And then he's like, yeah, those are really cool. I like those. He's like, I need about 500 of them.
Great.
If you've ever made anything on a Cricket, it takes about 10 hours to make one item.
Oh my gosh.
Slow.
I haven't, so I have no idea.
Oh yeah, they are horrible. So I actually fronted the $3,000 and we bought a commercial machine, a little bit, actually about the same size as the one right behind me there, just different brand, not as fancy as this one. It's our first one. I wasn't spending $10,000 on a machine,
right?
That we didn't know anything about. And then we just kind of started doing that for him, and then I started posting stuff on. I was doing a lot on eBay for a while, but eBay, everything I do is custom made. At the time, I don't pre-make it because I don't want to make 50 pink ones and sell one. So I usually make them on call. So people were mad that they weren't shipping out fast enough. So that's why I switched to Etsy. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we started with the stickers and got into doing the coffee mugs. And stuff like that, actually.
And you've got great ratings on Etsy too. I will say, like everyone seems pretty happy.
I wasn't planning on promoting anything, but I do. I did do the Darkness Falls mug here for
nice
as a sample. But this is different equipment, so yeah, we ended up switching, and unfortunately, our friendship and partnership fell through. So we kind of split, and he went his way, and I went mine. So.
Yeah.
But I'm still trying.
Yeah. Well, your reviews and everything on Etsy are really good. Is there anything that you don't like about running a business on Etsy? I've never done anything on Etsy. I have no idea how it works.
Not strangling people. Like some of the stickers, I put them on I have a background of a carbon fiber, just so you can see the detail and the color. And I had a lady that left me a bad review many years ago. I think it was on eBay actually at the time, saying how she bought a white sticker on a black background, but when she got it, it was a white sticker on a blue background, because she didn't understand that the black was just part of the picture to display the white.
Right.
So
the black isn't actually there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's whatever you put it on. If you put it on a pink car, you're gonna have a pink background.
Well, yeah, I mean, how do you show that? How do you show a white sticker on a white website? Like,
yeah.
yeah.
So, It was, but otherwise, I mean, it's a lot of time, and that's my biggest problem. That's why I don't do more than I do now. Is I don't, maybe it's just because of what's up here, but I don't do this whole 9 to 5 and then come home and do 6 to 10 and then sleep for 10 to 2 for gaming and then sleep 2 to 4 and then go back to work at 9. But yeah, I don't feel like I have enough time. But if you're gonna be your own business, you have to have that time, and you gotta make it. And unfortunately, I have to work full time because I do have a wife and kids in a house that I gotta pay for. So
look, I feel you on that. I mean, I treat streaming and this show kind of like another job, and it's hard sometimes to be like, I work a full-time job also, and then I've got all this other stuff to do, and it's hard sometimes. I get it. Hey Ruby, how are you today? So how everyone has seen Fluffbutt over here. He's fantastic and ridiculously spoiled.
Mike's calling me Fluffbutt.
Oh no, this is right here. This is Fluffbutt.
I never paid attention to the name. Sorry.
Well, his name is actually Tyrion, but yeah, this is Fluffbutt. So how spoiled are your cats? Tell us about your cats. How many do you have, and what's the most ridiculous thing you've done for them?
I don't have cats. I want to get that straight.
Oh, I apologize.
My wife, who I love to death, has 2 cats. No, I really do like her cats. Yeah. I think I'm allergic to them, but I take some green pills. I don't know. They're good.
Yeah.
No, they're spoiled. This last fall, I had to tear up the fence, put a 6-foot tall chain link fence. And then on the west side of the yard there, I had to put, you see them in prisons. It's the little bars that come out, and then they put the barbed wire to keep the inmates in. Well, ours is backwards to keep the cat in. I have built at our old house, before we bought this one, we had a townhome. So we had a shared yard and couldn't put a fence in to keep them in, so I had to build a catio.
Yeah.
All the way around the patio door, and then close it with screened so that way they can go outside during the winter because they like to be outside.
Yeah.
So yeah, they get anything and everything they want. So
that's not familiar at all. I have not built them a catio. However, Yo-Yo is the one who you can see one of the dogs is over there, but she'll go through the dog door and then meow to be let in a different door. And does she get let into that door? Of course she does.
Yeah, I framed in underneath our deck here, full wood frame with 2 entrances, one through my daughter's room, and there's I had to put a little cat door in that one, so that way during the summer they can come in and out as they please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, it's funny because she comes back in at night. The other cats don't go outside. They're just like, no, I don't think so. And we're just going to stay inside because I have 2 others. There's Tyrion, there's Slinky, and then there's Yo-Yo. Yo-Yo's the one who goes outside. Tyrion will look out the dog door, but he's just like, I don't think so. I'm not going to do that. So you also have a love of gaming. What's your favorite game? What's your least favorite game? And what's the game that holds the most nostalgia for you?
My gaming changes every week. It was Valheim, and then some weird person got me addicted to Minion Masters.
Did you do such a thing?
So for the last couple of days, it's been Minion Masters. Before that was 7 Days to Die in Darkness Falls.
Yeah.
Probably my most nostalgic, though, is going to be Duke Nukem 3D. That was one of the first FPS games we got to play. It was LAN only because internet wasn't really around back then. And we had huge LAN parties. We actually used to run a couple here in Minnesota that we were the Midwest largest multi-mayhem.
Wow.
We would rent out the entire conference floor of the Hilton in Minneapolis over at the West Bank. Our very last one, we ended up, I think that one was 13 or 14. And we were able to finally make enough money that we owned all of our own servers and switches. and then never did it again.
Wow.
I don't know. The guy that was running it, I don't know what happened, but yeah, once we were able to finally afford our own equipment and actually start turning a profit, we ended. But at the same time, LAN parties kind of weren't as big as they used to be. So
yeah, I remember going to a couple LAN parties, just like at friends' houses, not at anything super fancy, but it was weird to take an entire computer because they were big. They were big then.
One of our first ones that we had at a little soccer dome over in Minneapolis here on the east side, and I had to have my friend help me carry my monitor.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I mean, now they're that thick. I mean, this thing was wider than I can show on the camera here.
Right. Yes.
And when I plugged it in and turned it on, it blew 2 power supplies of the computers on the end of the table.
Oh my god.
So they had to go buy power supplies before the party started.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Valheim and 7 Days to Die are fun. Minion Masters is a lot of fun too. And I'm the same way. Like, my gaming changes a lot. I'll have current obsessions. I'll go back to old obsessions. Like, right now I've been playing more Ark, and I stopped playing Red Dead because I lost my streak. That doesn't mean I won't go back to Red Dead, but I will go back. I mean, I will go back to Red Dead at some point, but...
Glad I don't have that problem.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
20 minutes.
I had, I was on like day 21 or something when we lost power, and I was just like, fuck it, I'm not going back. I'm not going back and doing it again right now. So I'll go back at some point, but not right now.
I was playing Valheim. I logged off to log into Red Dead real quick to do my stupid little daily streak, and I was 20 minutes off.
Oh, shit.
So,
oh, no.
I think I waited about 5 or 6 days, then I went back on again, did 1 day, and then I haven't been back on since. So.
Yeah. Yep. Bite Mark has a question for you, and that is, what is your favorite poem?
Probably one I can't say because it's by Andrew Dice Clay.
I don't know who that is.
He is. Very vulgar.
Well, now we need to know what the name of the poem is.
It's a Hickory Dickory Dock. No, actually, I really don't know. When I think of poems, that's the only thing I could think of is Andrew Dice Clay. Just he's funny, but I have no idea. I wrote a poem back in elementary school, and there you go. Andrew Dice Clay. I don't know if I do that though. But yeah, no, I never really got into the poetry thing much. Except for trying to flirt with the girls.
That's fair. I mean,
It's junior high at the time, so.
Yeah. I lost my streak during the outages, then had started it back up again, then I lost it the other night again, and just, Ark has the attention right now. And it's funny because, like, I went months without playing Ark, and now it's just like, oh, look, it's back. It's back in my head. Not because they released something new, it's just back in my head. That's all.
See, I liked Ark. But I got it for free from Epic, so I can't join most servers because of the cross-platform crap.
Yeah. Maybe eventually they'll change it. Pretty dinos, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Do you have a serial killer or a true crime story that fascinates you?
My wife and I have been watching that Clarice, I think it's called lately. The agent that killed or captured Bob. But that's probably about it. I mean, I like watching horror movies and stuff, but I never really got into the whole serial killer thing. I know that my wife watches a lot of shows on how to murder her husband and get away with it. I don't know if she's trying to tell me anything or not, but she definitely likes to watch them.
Yeah.
And I do. Okay, so I hit Ruby. I do like Escape from Tarkov, but there's so many freaking cheaters right now. I mean, at least the last time I played.
Are there?
Oh, it was horrible. I don't know if it's still the same. I quit playing about 5 or 6 months ago. But yeah, it's a really good game. It's very hardcore, and you got to pay attention to what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you got to be on the right servers too. Yep. So I don't feel like I have the time to dedicate in order to keep up with these people, because these guys, on a wipe they'll be level 40, 50, 60 in 30 hours. Ruby's 3 away from the Kappa. That's basically the end game. It's everybody's goal is to get the Kappa container. And I probably not even level 10 yet. So usually for Kappa, you're 40 or more.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I have never played Escape from Tarkov, but I have a friend who plays it, and it's fun to watch. It's your first wipe, which happened on December 24th. I don't know what that means, but...
To reset. So like we do with 7 days.
I gotcha.
So wiping it is basically resetting everybody back to 0.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They did it Christmas Eve. It's made by a company in Russia, so they don't celebrate Christmas like we do.
Mm-hmm.
So they work all day Christmas because us Americans are spoiled rotten and stay home and spend money on video games.
Yep.
But yeah, I think I played up until about the beginning of the year. So I played about a week after that wipe and just haven't been back since. So.
Yeah. Well, it looks like a good game. The company is based in the UK? I have no idea.
Nope. They are definitely Russian.
Mother Russia.
I got called by my bank when I tried to purchase it because of the charges coming from Russia, so I ended up having to use
oh, wow.
PayPal because they thought maybe it was terrorists. I'm like, really?
Nice.
Because terrorists are going to do a lot. I mean, $150. I bought the big boy. So.
That's funny. Can you tell us a little bit about moving from California to Minnesota? Why did you want to move? What went into the back and forth with your mom and that kind of thing as a kid?
Well, so my parents split when I was 2. Dad stuck around for a couple of years and decided he didn't really want to be out there anymore. He was born in Iowa. I was born in California. I think my mom was California too. To be honest, I'm not even sure because I don't really appreciate her as well as I should as a son.
Mm-hmm.
But most of what I remember is not good. So she had met a new man. I got married to him. I remember at first I was excited. And then when I got to know him, I wasn't. Very abusive. I tried to move out to Minnesota to be with my dad when I was, a little older, so 6th grade. She gave me permission, thinking that I would be to California to deal with the cold. But apparently my dad's Iowa side got the better of me because I enjoyed it and I liked it and I wanted to stay.
Yeah.
And I told her that I wanted to stay because she said, hey, if you want to stay, let us know. We'll be happy to. And when I told her I wanted to, she says, you're going to be on that plane. I'm sending you a ticket. And if you're not, I'm going to have your dad arrested.
Wow.
And I mean, I'm in 6th grade, so I'm old enough now to know you're kind of up. So yeah, I ended up having to go back. And then first semester of actually 9th grade, I was getting into a lot of trouble at school, not really coming home at night, and just doing what I wanted to do. And I'm a high school kid out there. Minnesota here, it's really stupid in 9th grade. You're not in high school, you're back in junior high. But whatever. But I was in high school out there and started being a little dumbass. So she agreed to, she kind of kicked me out. gave me a Greyhound bus ticket and $20 and said, go live with your dad.
Did your dad know that you were coming? Or was it just like a surprise?
I thought it was a surprise. But my dad insists that they knew about it. But I remember that every stop and every transfer of the bus, I tried to call and I could never get a hold of them. So personally, I was 14 years old. Granted, it was a long time ago now. 30 years. Holy shit. I'm getting old. So yeah, it was 30 years ago. So maybe my memory's a little vague, but I don't remember him knowing. I wasn't even sure if he was going to be at the bus station in Minneapolis when I got here, but he was. So, or at least at some point in time he was.
Right.
So.
And did your mom ever give you a reason for saying you have to come back? Or just because she said so?
My honest opinion is the child support. My dad was paying a lot of child support. So I don't want to say lucky. I have different experience with paying child support. Because back then, it was if I lived with my mom, my dad paid 100% child support.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't care what she made. If you're old enough to know who Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt are,
Mm-hmm.
and the 42 kids they adopted,
Yeah.
she could make $50 million and he could make $500 million, and they would have still looked at only his $500 million, saying you pay her $100 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at least, I think it was 2007 here in Minnesota, they changed it to they look at both. So if I make $100,000 and she makes $10,000, there's a $90,000 difference, and I pay it based on that.
Mm-hmm.
But if she makes 100 and I make 10, she probably ain't getting nothing out of me. Because they feel that she's better off to pay and support the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So nowadays it's a little different, at least here, where they take in both parents, not just the non-custodial.
Yeah, that's not how they do it in Texas. They still only look at the non-custodial and say, what can you afford to pay? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so so my eldest, he's 21 now, so he's 21 now. When he was younger still, his mom and I aren't together, so we ended up having to go to court for support.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of years later, they kept raising it because of cost of living, no big deal, but I started making less money at a new job I took.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out that I could be paying a little bit less. I'm like, I don't want to not pay anything. I want to support my kid. I want to do the right thing and be a father.
Right. Yeah, but if you're making less,
if she's not going to let me see him, at least let me help support him. And so I told her, I said, hey, I can't afford this much anymore, so we're going to have to go to court. She says, okay. Had a court date set. They did all their numbers. They verified incomes, verified employments. We went to court. She never showed up.
Wow.
Well, then they found out that she was actually offered management positions, and she denied them.
Mm.
So now they said, well, wait a second. You're making $8 an hour, and you should be making $20 an hour. Guess what? And they dropped my payments by like half.
Wow.
So she screwed herself.
Yeah, by not taking the positions that were available, right?
Well, because if she would have showed up, she could have at least defended herself, saying, hey, I can't take this position because then I would be working X amount of hours. And, our son does also have some mental issues as well. So she can't just let him stay home. 15 years old, 16 years old, somebody needs to be there after school. So she couldn't take those positions because of that. But I didn't know that at the time because she wouldn't talk to me.
Right.
And then what a shock. I think court was in August, and in November I got a phone call from her sister saying, hey, your son wants to see you. So, like, yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. But, so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to come to California, and so I was with my dad for about 2 years. My stepmom had her tubes tied, never wanted kids. She had plenty of nieces and nephews, so she had plenty of kids to spoil that weren't hers.
Mm-hmm.
And here I come on a Greyhound at 14, not coming home at night, doing what I want.
Yeah.
Smoking cigarettes at the time. Didn't do drugs, didn't do alcohol, but smoked a lot of cigarettes. And kind of thought I was my own man. So
most 14-year-olds do.
Yeah.
That's about when the I know everything starts, in my experience.
I do know everything. I just can't remember it all at once.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot.
That was my saying when I was a kid. My mom even brought it up over the weekend. I had made steaks for us yesterday on Sunday or Saturday. So
that's great.
Yeah. But yeah, we were talking to my kids about that. Your dad used to say this. But yeah, it's we didn't get along great.
Your stepmom?
I was on. Yep, my stepmom and I, because I was my own man and I wanted to do what I wanted. Of course, with the physical abuse from my stepfather and my brother, my stepmom here, I call her my mom, so I apologize if I confuse you, but my mom out here, so she felt that I needed therapy. So I started and originally one-on-one. And then we started doing some group therapy, mainly because my counselor was cute. And
Listen,
I
at
was willing to do
14, if that's
anything
what
she
gets you to
wanted.
do therapy, look,
Yep.
that's fine.
Yeah, you find a cute one, and she will get any guy, any young boy in there. Yeah. So yeah, they put me on some antidepressants back then, and they messed with my head even more than anything else that I went through. So I got into it's a verbal thing with my best friend from school, and I did threaten his life. Got home that night. My alarm went off to take my meds, and I'm looking at him and looking at me in the mirror, going, "This isn't me. I'm not violent like this. I don't beat people up. I don't threaten to kill people. I don't do that kind of stuff, you know." And so I dumped him and haven't taken him since.
Yeah.
But she found out about it. She was scared for her life now. So within 2 years of moving here with them, I was on my own. So Dad told me I had to leave. So started my 16 to, well, that was in 93, and it was 2000 before I technically was off the streets.
Yeah.
So February 28th, 2000.
Wow. Where did you land on February 28th, 2000? Why is that date memorable? Your best friend?
Yep. So the mother of my oldest, we found out we were going to have a kid. And at the time I was getting into a lot of trouble with the cops. You know, I'm homeless. I'm young. I don't have any money. Don't have a job. Don't have a car. Didn't have a license. I mean, it was a country western song. Come on. Should have been in Texas, you know.
Talk about your dog. Talk about your mama, and we're there.
Oh, my dog was knocked up by 15 of the neighbor dogs. Yeah, that was interesting. I don't know what kind of dog she had. She was a husky, and I don't think she had a single husky pup. And none of them looked the same.
Yeah.
But no, I got into a lot of trouble. So I had some pending charges, and they want to put me on probation. Well, then when I found out I was actually having a kid, that kind of woke me up, going, "Dude, you're living on the streets. You're squatting on friends' back seats of their cars, their garages, their couch.
Yeah.
That's how the heck you gonna raise a kid?" So I took a plea deal. Said I want to be there for my kid. Started staying with a buddy of mine, and then my old lady and I got into an argument on the phone. I was supposed to be living with her, but she was a drug addict. Her mom was a drug addict. I'm trying to stay out of that kind of stuff. You know, I'm trying to improve my life here. And when her mom found out she was talking to me that I wasn't there, because her mom thought I was upstairs.
Oh.
Thought that I was living upstairs. So when she found out I wasn't, she called the cops and said, "Hey, Puck is supposed to be living here. He's not. This is where he's at. Here's the phone number." So they came over to the house at 12:30 in the morning, knocking on my buddy's parents' door, because they were letting me crash there. And they wanted to violate me, give me 6 months of 6 months of jail time, put me back on probation for 10 years. Seriously?
For staying with a friend instead of your girlfriend.
Exactly. So I told the judge, I said, "You know what, I'm done." I said, I'm not I've got no drugs charges, I've got no weapons charges, no assault charges. I mean, it was petty theft. It was all theft related stuff. Stealing money for food, stealing food, stealing clothes, things that you kind of need to survive in the middle of winter in this state.
Yeah.
And they wanted to just basically extend my probation. And I was like, "Well, I only have 18 months total." I said, "How much time do I have served? And how much time would I actually have to serve if I told you to piss off?" That was, it was July of 99, because I remember watching the 4th of July fireworks over the river, Mississippi River in St. Paul. And I was released completely from everything. No probation, no parole, nothing. February 28th of 2000 into, well, technically I was on house arrest for a month and a half. But my buddy's parents let me come back, even though the cops took me from their house. Mainly because I'm a damn good cook. So they, my first night that I spent there, I made them spaghetti, and I was basically invited to move in right after that. So that's all
there you go.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why I remember that date.
Yeah. Well, lots of people are saying, like, I was an idiot at 14. Well, I mean, Morris says I stayed home and played RuneScape all the time at 14. So there's that.
RuneScape wasn't around when I was 14, though.
Let's see.
In fact, actually, 14, we had a Commodore Amiga 2000. So if you Google or not Google, what do you use? You use
I started playing RuneScape in... Oh God, now I don't remember. It was like 2002 or 2003 or something. So I definitely was older than 14. At 14, I was playing a lot of soccer. Ruby, add a period to the end of that and then you'll get the points. I played a lot of soccer when I was 14. I was in Scouts when I was 14. That came out in 1999 more, didn't it? Did it not?
Naughty boy. Naughty bite.
Sneaking out to see a boy at 14. Yeah, there's that too.
But there's the link to the Commodore Amiga 2000. That was the first computer I ever tore apart. That was 34 years ago.
Nice. Bite has another question. She said, you mentioned being a good cook. What's your best recipe? It's a good question.
Enchiladas.
I like that.
I make everything but the shells homemade. My sauce is even homemade. I don't buy that charred crap.
Mm-hmm.
Spaghetti I do now because I'm getting lazy. But yeah, my enchiladas, they are an all-day process for me because I simmer the sauce for about 4 hours. And then I usually do either shredded chicken and or beef. So
yeah, enchiladas take a long time. I think a lot of people don't understand how long they actually do take. But they're not a quick dish. But worth it.
Oh. I don't eat a lot of leftover stuff because I hate microwave food.
Mm-hmm.
But I could eat those leftover like there's no tomorrow. It's one of the only foods that I can.
Yep, absolutely. At 18, I was staying out till 2 a.m. with a girl because it was preferable to being at home. I mean, look, I'm gonna need you to come over and make some enchiladas. Yes. Well, listen, after everything is back to normal, we need to have like a community potluck and everyone flies to somewhere that's not Texas and makes their best recipe. We'll go somewhere pleasant.
Ruby, I'm 44 years old now and I still don't know who I am half the time. So
he's been flat in the hole this whole time. Are you breathing? Oh, he's alive. There he is. He's like looking at me. What? Come up here to Michigan.
Reminds me of my wife's. We had our last 2 cats at the other house. We had one cat, Sadie, and she was sitting there right in front of the TV, staring at the TV. And my wife would call her name, Sadie, and the ear would just twitch. Sadie. And then the third time, Sadie, and you could just see the cat go, what?
Yeah.
And I've got video of it too. I can prove it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
That's great. I remember saying I was going one place with my parents and going elsewhere. I was staying the night with guys when I was 17 and 18. I did that like once or twice. I felt so bad for lying. Like I lied about plenty of stuff, but something bigger like that, like it really rode my conscience. Not that I'm some sort of perfect person, because I am not, and I was not at that age. But that in particular, being like, oh, I'm going to go stay at my best friend's house. I always felt bad because I was lying to not only my parents, but my friends' parents. And like just all of that felt awful. Yeah. Around then I was still questioning my gender identity. I was feeling much safer around them. Well, and that's, I think that it's a lot easier for people now to process through some of that. If I'm not sure how old you are, but not that long ago, it wasn't something that you could really do out in the open. Question any sort of anything. The anxiety of getting caught was the worst. Yes. I was always with the loopholes and justification, not under my roof, saying I have to sneak out, not sneak anyone in. Yeah. So I'm sure you can't talk about a lot of things because there is a lawsuit, but how did the abuse you experienced from your brother and during Boy Scouts as a kid impact you?
Well, the Boy Scouts one, yeah, like you said, there's major lawsuits going on right now. And
Yeah.
they're probably going to go bankrupt from everything, and they're going to try and screw everybody that they've screwed.
Right.
No pun intended. I wasn't trying to, sorry.
Right.
But as far as my brother, most of the stuff with my brother and his friends, most of that I have locked up in a little ball and just threw away.
Yeah.
But it definitely has impacted my relationship with people, female friends. Yeah, and they're selling cookies in my local liquor store. I went in to buy freaking booze, and they're in there selling me cookies.
I hope you bought one of each.
I bought 2 boxes of the mints, because one for my wife.
Because those are the best.
But yeah, it's messed me up a lot. I kind of got, and as a 44-year-old man now, I know that it's not necessarily that way. But when I was younger, in my early 20s, late teens, I associated sex with caring. Even though technically it's just a pleasure. I mean,
right.
Great one if you do it right. But
right.
Yeah, so I mean,
and it
now
can express caring, but it is not explicitly. Yeah,
but that's kind of what I thought it was back then, because that's what I knew. All my family loves me. These people love me. That person loves me. Whatever, and this is how they showed that they love me. Well, clearly that's not the case. So.
And did you talk to your therapist about that at all, or you just kind of locked it up and threw away the key?
I tried to lock it up.
Yeah.
we did a little bit. It was mostly the physical with her, though, because once I started talking to her about it a little bit, I think for me at the time it was more of a trying to get something I can't get from a therapist. Because like I said, she was cute.
Yeah.
And I thought, hey, I'm experienced and whatever, but yeah, no, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of trying to not let my parents know. I mean, I don't lie to my wife about things, but I mean, in fact, actually on our first date, I think I've told some of the community this before, our first date was a discussion about how I pretty much cheated on everybody I'd been with up until then.
I've heard you talk about that before. Yep.
So I tell my wife pretty much anything and everything, but she has no idea anything about the scout stuff. She has no idea about any of that kind of abuse. She knows the physical stuff.
Yeah.
But as an adult, it's very embarrassing for me now. I've gotten to the point that it's like I'm trying to repress it, but at the same time, I know I can't.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, back then it was definitely something I didn't want my parents to know about. Mainly because before I kind of was more comfortable talking about it, my buddy and I got into a little bit of trouble. My dad found out about it and grabbed one of his pistols to go look for my buddy.
Oh.
Like, what's going to happen if he finds out this other stuff happened in California?
Right. Ooh.
Just me being arrested because I did something and he drove. That's a little different than being 12 or 10, 9, and having somebody else do things that they did like that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I would probably never see him again.
Right.
So yeah, I definitely didn't want him knowing any of that stuff.
Well, it's hard to feel like you're having to hide something from your parents, I'm sure, and that's not pleasant to have to do under any circumstances at all. But yeah.
But see, and like my stepmom and I have talked about this plenty of times. I mean, it took me 12 years to gain the trust back, to be part of my family. When I moved out here, my dad being from Iowa, so all of my family on his side is down there. My stepmom being from Minnesota here, all of her family's here, and they all grew up together. They all spent the last 12 to 15 years as a family. And here I was here for 1 year, 3 years before that, coming hi, I'm your cousin, let's be best friends.
Right.
I mean, even to this day, I have a couple cousins that are head nurses down at the HCMC hospital in Minneapolis, and one of them is she helps me out a lot. I actually throw ideas with the business back and forth. The stuff that the new nurse stuff that I just put online was because of her and her sister, and the dedication they've been doing through everything with all this pandemic. Just a little bit for them. I made them some samples and gave them to her. She's been awesome. But 30 years ago, we weren't that close.
Yeah.
And now she wrote an excellent letter of recommendation, being that I was in trouble with the cops in the state of Minnesota. I did not have the ability to get my gun rights, be able to buy a gun of any sort, to be able to legally go hunting, protect my family, carry legally. And when I even briefly brought it up to her that I was trying to do this and looking for letters of recommendation, she immediately went to work and on a company letterhead.
Oh, that's great.
Wrote me a huge letter to the judge.
Yeah.
My other cousin is a sheriff on the north of the cities here. He wrote me one on, and signed it with his sheriff's name and deputy badge number and everything. And I did. I got my rights. I am now legal to, purchase and carry. Well, not carry out and about, because that's a different permit that I got to order. But go through firearm safety again. But yeah, so now, I've changed them. It's a lot better. I mean, where I was 30 years ago, so much better.
Did you ever consider, whenever you were kicked out of your dad's house, trying to go back and live with your mom in California, or was that not even an option in your head?
Not even. Never even once crossed my mind. I thought about going towards that direction, but nothing to be with her. No, not even close.
Right.
Because if you have to be living on the streets in the middle of winter, Minnesota's not the ideal place.
Yeah, no, it sounds cold. Really cold. Yeah.
California, their cold is 75 freaking degrees. Right. So, things like that. So I've thought about that portion of it. Not to make it light of it, but my understanding is my brother is, for probably the last 10 years, has been in that situation out there. I don't know. Honestly, the last time I saw him, I had him arrested. Yeah. So him and a couple of his buddies were trying to physically hurt me and my cousin, because we wanted them out of my grandma's house. And we were trying to go over to call the cops and have them come out, and they found out, and they started chasing us down the street in the car, pulled out a gun, and cops had him arrested. So wow. Well, I had him arrested, but the cops arrested him. Yeah. So I remember my cousin and I ran into a donut shop trying to tell them to dial 911, and the neighborhood at the time was not English speaking. So I can't remember. It was a Asian descent of some sort. I don't remember which one, but come on, that was almost 40 years ago. Right. So yeah, I just said screw it and jumped behind the counter and dialed the phone myself. And this guy's yelling at me, and so yeah, about 30 seconds later they were pulling into the parking lot and had him on the ground. So yeah, the last time I saw him. Yeah.
So what was the hardest part of being homeless, and was there anything good that you took away from that time in your life? And good, like, that can be really subjective, right? It's not like, oh, it was a great experience. Clearly, no, but
we were drinking every night and doing drugs every other night. No, I did meet a lot of people. It is surprising and very sad, especially at my age now, to see and know how many homeless youth there was. Even back then. Yeah. But I met a lot of friends. I actually got my nickname because of my looks and some dumbass on The Real World on MTV. I guess that was some guy named Puck on there, and the chick said I looked like him. And that was my street name for the, well, obviously since then. Yeah. So I'm still called that. I mean, the hardest part is not knowing. You never know where you're going to be the next day, Are you going to eat that day or the next day? Are you going to have clean clothes? Are you going to get jumped? There was a couple programs. We had District 202, Project Off Streets, and well, District 202 wasn't really a group. That was they were a GLBT club, I guess. Not really club, but kind of club. I mean, no drinking. It was for homeless youth or for youth, that or their friends, gay, lesbian, sexual. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yep.
So we would hang out there a lot on Fridays and Saturdays. A bunch of my friends were a different lifestyle than I was, but I didn't care. We were friends. But back then, late 90s, that's, we had the gay 90s, but that was adult only. And we didn't have anything for youth.
Yeah.
202 was the only thing we had. It was a safe place to go in the evening and not be out doing drugs. So, we spent a lot of time there, but everybody in the neighborhood, South Minneapolis, knew what it was. Not everybody was okay with that.
Yeah.
There was a couple times that we got jumped trying to get back into a place to sleep. So a few memories on that one. I lost a good friend one night. But yeah, it's hard to not know if you're gonna have a place.
Right.
And then, I watch a lot of movies now. I started playing games because if I wasn't at home playing a game with my buddy, I was out doing stupid shit. Doing stupid stuff is not productive.
Right.
Of course, neither are sitting home playing games all day, but I wasn't getting arrested.
Right. One is better than the other.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what we did. That's what I started doing. That's why I started playing games. And not having a place to go, not having a place to stay out of trouble. If you're religious, you hear idle hands are the devil's worker. We did some weird stuff, and I was happy to. I'm happy to be out of there.
Yeah. Yeah. So, if you could go back in time and give your younger self a piece of advice, any piece of advice, when would you go back to, and what would that advice be?
My very last charge, I would have told myself not to take the plea deal. I freely admit things that I've done. Okay, you know what? I own it. I'm a man. I have, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I only did this because I was living on the streets. Oh, I only stole that because I was homeless and I need to hung food or, you know what? I did it. I was in a situation. It put me into positions that I had to make those decisions, but it was still my decision. I didn't have to steal food to eat. I could have begged, or I could have worked, I could have whatever. I had decisions. But my very last charge is the one that royally effed me for the last 25 years. And I figured, you know what, I already had a couple other charges that I've been convicted of. It's not going to add any more time to what's already hanging over my head. They're still putting me on probation.
Yeah.
No big deal. Who cares? One more freaking charge. No big deal. If I'd have known then what I knew now, it was a big deal. That was the only charge that has prevented me from being able to be a hunter, being able to get real jobs. I've been declined jobs because of my background for the last 28 years. And unfortunately, I'm stuck in a job I don't like. I got a actually I just looked it up because I did my taxes today. I did $78,000 in student loans. And I can't even get a job in the field. My last interview, I felt like it was my last choice. Or not choice, but my last option. It was for I know, meow. Hi to you too, buddy.
I don't know where mine went, but I'm surprised he's not here.
He likes to jump up. Actually, I'm wearing sweatpants this time. Usually if I'm wearing shorts, he doesn't like to jump on my lap, but he probably will.
Yeah.
Because the only time he ever jumps on my lap is when I'm talking. And now I can't get it expunged anymore because of a rule that was changed in '98 here in Minnesota. So my only option now, like I said, I got my rights restored, but my only other option now is an expungement extraordinaire, which is not the same. So in Minnesota, an expungement means that you are actually doing your time and you want it removed. So basically, I think of it as a pardon, because that's the kind of stuff you see in movies, 1158, the governor's calling to pardon you from your execution. Okay, I don't have that option. But an expungement extraordinaire would be essentially the same thing. They're sealing the record, which means that I can go back and say I'm not a convicted felon, I've never been convicted of anything. But at the same time, at this point in age, I mean, this stuff was 26 years ago. Some people only look at 7 years, 10 years. But the problem is I've had companies that say, well, we look back 7 years, and at the time it was only 12 years old, and they still saw one. So
expungement extraordinaire sounds like a dessert.
Right. Make sure you drink your water. We've been here for an hour.
Yes, drink water, etc., etc.
There's water in Mountain Dew.
That's true. It's true.
It's the #1 ingredient.
Gotta go invent a dessert. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. It's hard in the U.S. in general to have a conviction on your record, and it's hard, especially when you were young. Something like that. It's hard to get it off of there. It's really tough. And I think that system is pretty stacked.
See, and one of the things that I find really odd and stupid, being on both sides of this system, I never threatened anybody's life. I never, had weapons. I never had drugs. But you can have a guy 4, 5, 6 times in this state drink and drive, crash, almost kill somebody.
Or actually kill somebody.
And they can get their shit expunged.
Yeah.
I had a guy I was trying to sell. I got a guy did some computer work for a guy way back in the day. Didn't even have a license. I paid like $150 back then, was a lot, but I paid $150 to fix his computer. And he didn't have any money to pay me. But he had like 7 cars. So he gave me one. It was a piece of junk, a little Dodge Daytona. And I drove it around for about a year until the steering wheel fell off. And I parked it. I was in a drive-thru. We were coming back from a LAN party, actually.
How does the steering wheel just fall off?
So I'm sitting at the window, ordering at Wendy's, and they told me my total. So I pulled up and I turned the wheel, and as I'm turning the wheel, the column fell down. I mean, it was still attached down at the footboard, so I could still turn.
Yeah.
But I have to hold the damn thing to go anywhere. So I just picked up my food at the window, drove across the street, called my buddy up, said, dude, you gotta come get us in the van. We threw all the computers in the van, and I just left it. It wasn't my car. He didn't give a shit. I never transferred the title. Never even had a title. I didn't even know. It could have been stolen. I have no idea. But he told me it was his, and he wasn't really the kind of guy, to be giving me stolen stuff.
Right.
And about 6 months later, we went back. It was middle of winter, and the plows had just piled all the snow on top of the car from that parking lot. And then the next summer, we go out there, and it's still sitting there. And I got a letter from the state of Minnesota saying, we're forcing the title into your name because this guy says he sold you the car. Oh, well, shit, I got a car, I guess. Still had the keys, So I went over and I talked to the owners of the building in the parking lot there, and I told them, I said, hey, I got this letter saying that this car is mine. I know my buddy, it used to be his, and I know he dropped it off here. That's the only reason I even know it's here, but apparently he forced it into my name. I kind of fibbed a little bit,
Yeah.
And I said, it's going to take me about a week to get it out of here. I said, I got to go get a steering column. They're like, dude, it's been here a year. One more week ain't going to kill us,
Right.
So I paid $40 for a new column and had another car for another year.
Nice.
And I went to go sell it. Dude across the street from where I was living, my buddy, that was right across the street from a trailer park. And we knew the guy. We recognized him anyways. He came over, took it for a test drive. Never came back. I called our police
Oh
department.
no.
I called State Patrol. I tried for 4.5 weeks to report my car stolen, but because I physically gave him the keys, it's not grand theft auto.
Oh, come on. There's got to be
And
laws against taking it for a test drive and not bringing it back.
Right? I said, so if I go, because when I was 18, before I got all the charges, I was security guard for Sim Security. Shout out. I don't even know if they're probably not around anymore. That was a hell of a long time ago. But I was in uniform on my way home, and I stopped. There's a Jaguar dealership at the time down in downtown Minneapolis. And, here I am walking around in, a law enforcement uniform. So they let me take a car for a test drive. So I asked the cop.
So you could have just taken that? You could have just kept it?
That's exactly what I said. I said, so if I go down there again and they give me the keys to it, it wasn't a Jaguar. It was a Pontiac, like Grand Am or Grand Prix or some crap.
Yeah.
I said, so if they give me the keys and I take it for a test drive and don't come back, he says, well, then we're going to arrest you for grand theft.
Excuse me.
What's the fucking difference?
Yeah.
Well, they're a business. Oh, so, okay. Well, guess what? Hey, I got a machine behind me. I'm a business now, so F you. Yeah, no, that was bullshit. And then
Wow.
I actually had one guy tell me, he says, well, call the Department of Transportation and put a watch. That way, if the cops run the plate, they can see that there's a watch. They can pull them over and say, hey, we're looking for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that. And while they were trying to do it, he says, well, there's some weird error coming up. He says, I'm going to have you call Officer Smith, at State Patrol. So I call him up. He's like, oh, Mr. Puck, I was just about to send you a whiskey plate letter. I'm like, what do you mean send me a whiskey plate letter? He's like, well, yeah, your buddy that you were out drinking with crashed your car and took off running. I'm like, motherfucker, I will have your badge on my mantle. I said, I have been trying to report this car stolen for 5 weeks.
Yeah.
I said, I'm trying to press charges. I said, you can call Minneapolis Police Officer so-and-so, because he was one of the buddies of mine. And we went down to his neighbors down in Minneapolis. And let me rephrase that because I wasn't a cop. He pretended to have a search warrant to search the garage at his last known address. And they opened it, and they let us, and he ran every freaking VIN number in that garage. It was one of those duplex type garages, so there was 5 or 6 stalls, and he ran every single one of them. But yeah, we tried to report it so many times, and this guy was going to tell me I had to start driving around with whiskey plates, which I don't know if you guys have those, but Minnesota whiskey plates basically says you are a drunk driver, and the cops do not need a reason to pull you over.
Wow.
They can just pull you over for no reason. So that would not be something I want.
No.
So, yeah, luckily he didn't do it. He understood my situation.
Did you get the car
was
back?
totaled.
Oh.
Nope. I said, dude, I don't even care about the car. I'm like, the wiring that I had in there for the subs, that was worth more than the car. He said, all I want is my stereo and my wiring.
Right.
But I never got that either, so. Because it was evidence.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah, welcome to America where businesses are people and humans aren't. That's no joke.
Yep.
Yeah. That's insane. So you live with depression currently and a learning disability. What do you do best that helps you manage your symptoms? And what are the biggest symptoms that you face from those two things?
My 2 biggest problems is concentration and retention. Mm-hmm. So as you can see, I kind of look over this way every now and then. I look over that way every now and then, and I coming over here, and I fidget a lot. I can't sit still. Mm-hmm. I pretty much, my wife and I sleep next to each other at times, but most of the time I sleep downstairs because I can't sit still.
Yeah.
Even in my sleep, I'm freaking moving around.
Yeah.
Tries both of us, Patty. I have to actually do something to learn it, which is why I've never understood watching people play games, because that doesn't teach me how to freaking play the game.
Yeah.
And I don't find it as fun. I'm a gamer. I want to play the damn game. I don't really want to. I'll watch my buddy and I, when we would play Tarkov, I would keep his stream up on the right so I could have his view and I could see where he's at, what he's looking at. Mm-hmm. It's kind of stream sniping, technically, whatever you want to call it. But we're teammates, so it's not really stream sniping, but so yeah, I just, excuse me.
You're fine.
So I'm kind of, the depression, I've gotten a lot better. My wife tries to make sure that she doesn't make me feel like I'm not worthy, even though I say that she puts up with me. She's a wonderful woman.
You've always spoken very highly of her. Yeah.
She don't believe that. She thinks I call her a bitch every time I turn around.
No, untrue. Puck's wife, if you ever watch this, I want you to know that he thinks just over the moon of you.
Well, the funny thing is we were supposed to be a one-night stand, maybe two or three night. That was pretty much what we were going to be, and that's all we really expected out of each other. And a few years later, we're living together and then married, and we bought a nice house. So.
That's awesome.
But, yeah, it's I think part of the low self-esteem that I had was because of people that I was with in the day. Obviously, stuff that happened in California, getting into trouble out here, being homeless here, it takes a toll.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there was nobody around at the time to convince me that I wasn't a complete and utter worthless moron. Now, I'm not completely worthless. Still a moron, but I'm an older moron. No, and I've gotten to the point now that I've matured enough, and then it's a little easier to see how I'm not as bad as I thought I used to be.
Yeah. Well, and it's one of those things that the retention part of that could be driven a little bit by the depression too. At least for me, like a lot of my memory is just shot, and a lot of it is because of depression or traumatic events. And the times around traumatic events, like some shit's really clear, some shit I don't remember at all. Someone will bring something up and I'm like, that didn't happen. They're like, yeah, literally we have a picture. It totally did. Cher said, I move around too when I was younger. I would fall out of bed. Yes. Yep. I used to wake up sometimes on my floor. That was always really fun. Ruby said sometimes you watch them play because they've got a fun play style. Oh yeah. I think what you were saying is that you don't understand watching someone to learn how to play a game, right? It's not that you don't understand like watching, you watch football or hockey or whatever, not to learn how to play the game, but just for the entertainment value. I
don't even do that.
You don't do that either? I
can't even do that.
Yeah.
And no offense, I love you, and I'll do whatever I can. You told me you needed help today, so I offered, but I can't watch streams.
Yeah. And that's okay.
I don't know what it is. It's just watching somebody else. Even in class, it was hard because when I started at college, it was an online class, and it only took me to one semester, and I said, this is not for me. I can't do this online bullshit. I can't. Yeah. When you're trying to, like, I went to school for networking. Hey, gamer. It's like when I went to my first physical class for networking, we were physically plugging in the switch, and there's certain cables that has an A and a B, so it's kind of a one-way. So there's no way in hell I would have learned that online. Right. Because online, it's you just draw a little box from here to there saying that you plugged in the switch to each other.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
Right.
That's... So yeah, for me, just the whole online thing is the only thing I can do online besides play games is watch TV. I'm trying to learn, I obviously getting into networking again is probably not too much of an option for me, but a few people, I don't know if it's our Discord community or a couple other ones that I'm part of, but they're like, dude, go to software development. You can work from home. You can make, 6 figures in your first year. But either I gotta spend more money and go back to school, or I gotta learn online. Neither one's really an option for me, because the department. Oh, here comes the jealous brother. Hi, big boy. Let's see if I got enough strength to pick you up with my arm. Come here.
Let's see.
This is our big boy. He is 28 pounds.
Oh my God, what a chunky cat. Oh, yeah. I love it. He looks so soft.
Yes, he's very cuddly, very lovable.
Look at you, you big chunk. Very chunker. Yeah. Yes, very much.
I don't know if you can see his right ear, but it flips or flops a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
When we first got him, it wasn't like that. You went down. I know you went down, don't you, buddy? It's a whole human touch thing. It wasn't like that. I don't remember what happened, but all of a sudden, I remember watching it happen. But he was doing something. I think it was with one of his brother, and then it just went, and it's just been flopping ever since.
Yeah. Fee said we live in a world and country that actively works against people who are currently succeeding, and it's shitty how big of a toll that can take on a person individually regarding low self-esteem. Yeah, oh, so much so. So much so. Ruby said I move around in my sleep so much that I stopped having a sheet on my blanket because it'd be 90% off when I wake up. Yeah. There are some blankets that I don't put on my bed anymore because it's like they consistently are sideways when I wake up, and I'm just like, okay, I can't use that anymore. Anyone that's going to stay in place. Cher said I watched someone play games for games I'm not good at and just chill. Yeah, absolutely. Hi, giant friend. Everyone loves. What's the big boy's name?
Mitchell.
Mitchell. Everyone loves Mitchell.
And then his brother. His brother is an orange one. We got him right around Christmas. We asked the kids what we wanted to name him, and we were watching Charlie Brown, so we've named him Charlie.
Nice. I like it. Thanks for that lurk, Fee. Appreciate it. My weighted blanket makes me toss and turn so much less. Doesn't stop entirely, but it really helps. Ooh.
Yep. I've got a 25-pound weighted blanket, I think it is, that I bought for myself.
Nice.
And I can't sleep with it next to my wife because she'll kick my ass off the bed.
She's not a weighted blanket fan?
You go.
No.
I like when she rolls over to go to sleep, I can't even, no touch.
Mm-hmm.
Not even a finger on the back, no cuddling, no.
That's how I am too. I'm like, I enjoy cuddling until I'm ready to go to sleep, and then there needs to be a divide. Nothing touches me except for pillows and blankets.
See, I sleep with a pillow between my knee because of my back problem.
Mm-hmm.
So Friday I had an epidural shot into my neck. Wednesday into my arm. Mm-hmm. And they're talking maybe my lower back because I've got some degenerative disc down there too. So I keep a pillow between my knee when I sleep on my side, and that I can't touch her.
Yeah.
It's kind of cute.
I get it. I understand. I understand completely.
Yeah, my blanket is a little warm. Chair, but not all. Yeah, like she said, not all of them.
Yeah. I would love to get a weighted blanket. I'll have to stop buying snakes so I can buy a weighted blanket. Because they are not cheap. Just came in, you really can't wait? That's awesome. So does what you have lived through help you relate to others in some way? Have there been any times where your experiences or background or diagnoses help you connect with someone else because of what you've been through or what you live with daily?
It probably would if I liked people, but I don't like people.
Yeah.
I have been social distancing for 25 freaking years, so I am an expert at this shit.
You're on it. You're like, I'm here for this.
Yeah, mainly because, yes, they were my choice. Like I said, it's always my choice, but I never got in trouble when I was doing things on my own. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily a good thing, but, when I stopped doing things, I stopped hanging out with my friends because they're part of the reasons I was going out to do things.
Yeah. And
if I just stayed home and did my thing, I didn't do something stupid.
Yeah.
So, I talk to I can talk to anybody online. I talk to people on the phone. I'm happy to talk, obviously. We've been freaking yapping for an hour and a half. And I don't shut up, ever. And, but it's helped with my kid. My youngest son here, just turned 15. So he is definitely has some of the same issues that I've had. Mm-hmm. Very hard time concentrating. He's getting into some trouble at school, and I'm trying my darndest to not be like my father or my stepfather. I mean, I don't lay a hand on any of them, but as far as treating them like shit,
Yeah.
telling them that they're worthless, making them feel bad, I do my damnedest to not do that. Look, son, I know what you're going through. I've been there when I was a kid. This is what I did. You just got to brush it off. Just make sure that, know that you're going to be better than them. I was never a jock. I was the dirtball. I was on the football field smoking cigarettes during class. So I got along with the jocks. I had some friends that were jocks, but I wasn't one of them. And you know what? I always had plans of being better than them, because they're going to be football stars till they blow their knee out in their first year of college, and then they ain't going to have shit because they went to school on a football scholarship because they're too dumb to go to school. I'm not saying every jock is stupid, but in high school, that's what you feel.
You're right. I understand. what you're saying. The feelings are, though.
And the preppy, yuppie little bastards that, are driving to school in the BMW, because the school I went to, I was probably the poorest one. And I didn't have a car. They all had BMWs and Corvettes and Camaros, and I took the bus. And I knew that I was going to have my own stuff and I was going to make my own money. It took me longer than I expected, but eventually I did. But I just have to explain to him that he loves math.
Yeah.
He gets that from me. I don't know why that. Of course, I can't do this new math shit. Apparently 2 times 2 is no longer 4. It's like 82 pluses or some shit. But, I can't help him with his math, but he wants to be an architect. He likes to draw. Dude, you have to finish school. You have to do this. And then you can make a really good living doing that.
Yeah.
So it's...
School's the only time you're expected to know everything about everything, and then you can specialize. You can specialize after school, but you're supposed to know everything about everything in school, which is aggravating, but I mean, I guess I understand it a little bit. Common Core is the dumbest shit I've ever heard of. No kidding. Ruby said this comment might come across as strange, but if you're ever getting back into Tarkov, maybe we can match together.
Well, I could use a friend, same name.
Yep, there you go.
Actually, no, my name is, all my game names are pretty much Puck1337.
Yeah. So you talked about your 14-year-old. Do you talk to your other kids openly about your mental health and about their mental health, or your wife, or is what you have kind of experienced, does that help talk about it, or does that hold you back from talking about it with them?
I'd say with my wife, it's probably more holding me back. I don't know. I know she would talk to me and I know she would understand and listen, but to me, it's still kind of a sore spot when it comes to her. My eldest, he's 21 now. Like I said, he still wants nothing to do with me. So I'm not sure what's gone on with him, but my 2 youngest, I have, shared custody of, so I talk to both of them quite a bit. And I try to teach them the things that, I wasn't taught. This weekend, they play a lot of Roblox because they are my kids and they are gamers.
Yes.
And I feel really bad for their mom because they do the same thing as me, just want to sit home and play games. But, we've had talks about online safety. We've had talks about, there was an article I just saw about Roblox and a Discord admin telling this Roblox user that he needs to verify stuff. And they did a video call like you and I are doing, and all of a sudden now the dude's accounts were both hacked.
Oh, man.
My daughter just told me over the weekend that her laptop was having issues. We tried to log into her account and it was having issues, so I did some reason, last couple of nights here, I've been looking into it, and she had 4 Trojan horses.
Oh, boy.
So apparently, I have to explain to her about downloading stuff again.
Yes.
But
look, I go through that with my 7-year-old a lot.
Yeah. So it's, I talk to him, but I don't want to scare him at the same time either.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
My daughter just turned 13 in December, so she's my youngest teenager now. But I will never admit this again. Girls
We're not
do
recording. We're not
mature
recording.
faster, right? Yeah. Girls do mature faster.
Yeah.
So she definitely is a little more mature than. I love him to death. Don't get me wrong, my son.
Right.
But you know, he's also a spaz like his old man. So that 21-inch monitor I told you, that big huge monster, I put that through a wall more than one time. Cheating motherfucker, you know. Oh yeah. I think I still have a couple keyboards that I've split in half over my knee.
Oh.
I had stability issues.
See, I don't understand the breaking things when you're angry, because then you just have to clean them up and buy new ones. And that's what always holds me back from like just breaking shit, is I'm like, if I throw this cup against the wall, then I have to clean it up and buy a new cup.
But see, you had a little less rage issue than I did at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a lot better now.
Yeah.
I mean, I use language that should not be said aloud, whether you're by yourself or not. And certain terms that shouldn't be said. And I would say them without even thinking. And they were really bad because at times I would, you know, have my nice, huge, I can't hear anything outside the world headphones on. And I would be, you stupid, and blah, 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 beep, 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 beep. And my wife was walking in the door coming home from work.
No. Oh, hi, honey.
Yeah. So, yeah, see, slamming a door, except this one's a lot more expensive.
Oh, I have a story about Bite Markin slamming her door. Can I tell it? Bite, do you give me permission to tell that story?
Next week on MommaFoxFire.
The way you phrase that made me imagine Mama as a hacker, but still with the weird technical stuff. And it's so funny in my head. Can you imagine me trying to do anything hacker-y and how awful it would go? I would wind up like trying to hack into something weird and then be somehow backdoor into NASA and accidentally launch a rocket or something. That would be.
Would you like to play a game, Dr. Falcon?
You're right. Like that's yeah.
Do you even know? Are you even old enough to know that one? That reference?
No, maybe none.
Okay. I'll see if I can find you a link for it.
Yeah, there you go. I put a few holes in my laptops. I need to step away for a second, but okay, when you get back, all right. Back before I started getting super depressed, and then shit went all sorts of bad. Put a few holes in your laptops, yeah. Yeah, and if you can find ways to manage that, that's great. It's, for me, my managing it in my head is just, you get to clean that up later. War games! Yes!
That's the computer. Would you like to play a game, Dr. Falcon?
Yep. Problem is I started breaking myself rather than my things. Yeah, that's not healthy either. You gotta work through that for sure. You definitely gotta work through that with a professional, probably.
Oh,
go ahead.
I was gonna say one of my breaking points, I think, when I was younger. It's right before I actually left my dad's. It was around Christmas, and I kind of felt, horrible. I mean, I'd only been here for a year at the time. And, I was sitting on the bed with a razor. And I was actually pushing my skin with it. And then I'm just, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
I get these, what the heck are you doing things every now and then. Sometimes they're a little too late, but luckily that one was early enough. But yeah, it's not, I can say that I got lucky on that one because I never did a whole lot of physical harm to myself most of the time. Every now and then I'd punch a wall, but breaking my hand on a wall is a heck of a lot better than some alternatives that I could have been through, especially, like I said, I was right there. So, yeah, no, glad you didn't.
Yeah.
And glad you're still here.
Yeah. Yeah, good job. 9 months sober now from self-harm. That's amazing and something absolutely worth celebrating, Ruby, for sure. So if you weren't doing what you do now, or if you had chosen a different path, what would you be doing or have done instead? And this is like no limits. You could be freaking rock star if you want in this. Sober from drinking, also worth celebrating.
I won't be a rock star because they do too many drugs. No, I mean, for me, honestly, my only goal in life was just to find a job that I enjoyed. You know, doing IT stuff. And I just had my face exploded on stream for something.
Yeah, we got a host from Prince Dairyland, so thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was... I mean, I always had a dream that I would be able to do an IT job remotely from anywhere in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I could do my job sitting on a beach, drinking, well, probably fruit punch because I'm not much of a drinker, but, you know, but that was always my ultimate goal. It was never world domination, never wanted to be an astronaut, never wanted to really be a firefighter. I kind of wanted to be a cop when I was real young, but obviously that's not going to happen. So,
yeah.
But yeah, no, I always wanted to just basically be doing computer. I mean, ever since I moved out here to California, from California, like I said, I tore apart my dad's computer back in '91. Got into a hell of a lot of trouble, and then got into more trouble the next year because I took his stereo and converted it into an aircraft scanner. Yeah, I didn't even know it would actually work. It was a Scientific America, I think it was, or about something scientific, something P scientific, something. I can't remember. It was 90s.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you take it, and it's got to be. I mean, back then we didn't have the digital ones, so the old rotary dial ones, and you take the coils, and when you spread the coils, it changes the frequency. So most radios are what, 89 or 88.9 to 107.9. And this would actually change them to like the 109 and up. So I would actually get some aircraft every now and then, and yeah,
all right.
I'm mad too. But I've always been like that. I've always been a tinker, tearing things apart. I got 7 freaking laptops in my storage closet that.
Well, that's that kinesthetic learning kind of thing coming back, you know.
So yeah, that's where I wanted to be, and that's where I still wish I was. I just wish I was doing IT, and you know, if
by Merck's back. Okay, so the door story, it's not bad. It's really not that bad. So I think basically anyone who's new here might not know, but Bite's my sister. We're a couple years apart, and she had a habit of slamming doors a lot when we were kids, and she would get in trouble for it all the time. We get in trouble for it. I would slam doors too. Don't get me wrong. But my thing was I rolled my eyes all the time. But Bite slammed doors. And so one time she had slammed one too many doors and she got her door taken away. My parents took it off the hinges and took it away.
I've been right there with you.
I'm like, ooh, I understand. Like, and so I learned what I took away from that experience were natural consequences. Like, if it's a slamming door, you take away the door. Like, you take away something that is related to it, not just, well, now you're grounded, which is what I try to do with my kids, because honestly, that was a pretty effective punishment. That was all. It was just that story, nothing else. Well, it is officially time for the Disney/magic moment. So I think most everybody already knows what this is, but this is our magic wand. And it is time for me to hand this magic wand to you. And with this magic wand, you get to eliminate one common opinion, misconception, theory surrounding mental illness, disabilities, or talking about mental health. So we're just going to wave it, and you're going to tell me what that is. What are you eliminating now with this magic wand moment?
Not all mental disabilities is related to like a retardation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know a lot of people thought when I was in 6th grade, well, mainly because I was the outsider, they just didn't really like me. But, you know, I don't know. I kind of felt like people expected me to be Special Olympics because I was in a special ed class, you know. But,
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, and that's a really good one, because as a parent of kids who have some challenges, It's not that they need anything super special. It's that they have special struggles that they then have to work around. Like, it's just an extra thing for them to work around, but it doesn't mean they need to be treated super differently. And I feel like as soon as someone finds out, right, about whatever it is that they have, and each one's different, it's like all of a sudden that stigma is there. So I feel ya. You still slam doors, so it's not that effective. True. Well, if there are any other questions for Puck, you'll go ahead and type them into the chat. I will just remind you that he is wonderful, and he is, first of all, in the Discord. So if you want to connect, be sure that you're in Discord. And then also check out his Instagram, his Etsy shop. There's the links for you right there. And you can hop on there and look at some of the designs. They're really cool. So while we're waiting for people to ask questions, Puck, I'll just open it up to you and say if there's anything we didn't cover, didn't talk about that you want to make sure that you say while you've got this time. Feel free. Go ahead.
Well, since you're bringing up Wild Coyote, so I mean, Instagram I don't do a whole lot with much anymore, and I gotta remember too, it's Facebook is the same thing, but any designs can be put on anything. And if you want something custom, so the thing that I do, as you saw if you were here, very small picture. If you remember where my camera is of the Darkness Falls one, any of those can be actually put. This is the one I redid because I didn't like his first one, so it fits a little bit better. But
I like that one. That's nice. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but Kane sent me. They're really dark, so I wasn't really too impressed with them.
Yeah.
But it's like coasters. I've kind of gotten a lot into now. I just bought a bunch so I can start getting these ones for my cousin done. But I'm happy to do custom. If you have a picture, of Fluff Butt. Or of the
dead dog in the hallway
whatever,
back here.
The dead dog in the hallway. Yeah. Well, it twitched once earlier.
Well, he got up and moved. He definitely wasn't in that position when we started, but he did get up and go somewhere earlier. I swear.
He was a little farther towards his rear end.
Yes.
It wasn't as much showing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's everything is supposed to be customizable, and it doesn't have to be what you see. So
yeah,
even if you're just looking for a saying on a mouse pad or a coaster or something, I can do anything. We have 10,000 different options for products. Keyboards, mouse, mice. Keyboards, mouse, mice. Yeah. I think I need a drink. Keyboards again. Mouse pads, coasters, coffee mugs, T-shirts, stuff
That's
like
awesome.
that. So, yeah, I was hoping that Kane would have me start doing all of his Darkness Falls stuff, but he apparently has decided to go a different route. So,
yeah,
I'll keep my mugs as freaking pen holders. So
there you go. Bite said that she needs the enchilada recipe for sure.
I saw. I will find that and send it to you.
Mm-hmm.
It is absolutely wonderful, and I always double up the sauce.
And Bite, when you make those enchiladas, I need to know that.
Better call her ass over there.
Yep, absolutely. Well, thank you for taking the time out today. Chat, give me just a minute. I'm going to disconnect here with Puck, and then I will be back playing some Minion Masters. Maybe still with Puck. If Puck wants to play Minion Masters, we might just go ahead and...
That was my agreement.
Yeah, listen. We'll probably just hop on together and play some Minion Masters. But give me just a minute. Let me take a bio break, all that good stuff, and I'll be back. Give me like 5 minutes. So appreciate you taking the time today, Puck.
Glad to help.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll be right back.
Thanks for sticking with me through this episode of Even Tacos Fall Apart. I know this one was a lot. It covered some really personal, heavy ground. Depression, trauma, learning disabilities, surviving abuse, homelessness. None of that is light. None of it is easy to talk about. So if you made it all the way through, I really appreciate you being here and giving this story your time and attention. Puck shared a lot of truth today. Some of it painful, some of it hopeful, and all of it real. What stood out most to me is how often we make assumptions about people without knowing what they've had to push through just to be standing. You might walk past someone who seems grumpy or disorganized or withdrawn and never know that they're carrying the weight of past trauma, or trying to stay focused through a learning disability, or just barely managing their depression that day. These struggles aren't always visible, but they're very real. And conversations like this one help remind us that people aren't their diagnoses or their worst mistakes. We're all a mix of what's happened to us and what we've chosen to do with it. And it's okay if that process is messy. If you're dealing with anything like what we talked about today, if you're managing depression, living with trauma, or trying to navigate life with a learning disability, I hope you heard something that helped you feel a little less alone. You're not the only one, and you're not weak for feeling tired or overwhelmed. You're doing the best you can with what you've got, and that counts for a hell of a lot. If this episode meant something to you, I'd love for you to take a second and hit that like button, leave a review, or subscribe wherever you're listening. It helps a lot more than you know. That's what gets these stories into the hands and ears of more people who might really need to hear them. And if you want to connect more or support the show, you can find a link to the website, tacosfallapart.com, in the show notes. There you can find out how to support the show in many different ways. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Mental health is messy. Life is messy. And even when things fall apart, you are still worthy of love, respect, and support, exactly as you are. Talk to you next time.